much does it make then?
I don't know.
Should I start it? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Should I start it and drive? No, I'm just kidding. Freedom Street Garage, welcome back. We're here at SEMA 2024, and we're gonna show you some of the sickest builds here, and by doing that, we're gonna come across some of the worst ones, so we're gonna show those as well. Let's get right into it. We're here in the Optima area. It's like kind of the outside of Optima's burn pit where they do lots of stunts, drifting, jumps, stuff like that over there. But I've spotted this Porsche, I believe it's a 964. It's got this wide body. It looks like it was built by BBI. And looking at the interior, not only is there a cowboy hat, but this is a full-on race car. It's got a full cage. It's got like the racing steering wheel with what looks to be a sequential gearbox. I love Porsches. You guys might not know this because we do mostly Hellcat stuff, but personally, Porsches are my favorite cars, and Porsches in race car form, I believe, are even better. This car I'd give a 10 out of 10, and I would 100% drive it. All right, guys, we've just spotted Tanner Faust's Drift Passat, and while your mom might drive a Passat, this is totally different. Most normal Passats are front-wheel drive, 4-cylinder. This has an LS in it. It's converted to rear-wheel drive. It's got the wide body. It has the 1552 wheels, and if you come around this way, you can see inside, it's got the handbrake so that he can drift this thing. It's also got 4 Sparco seats so that not only can you drift it, but you can bring 3 passengers along for the ride. I love this thing. I love Volkswagens, European cars, and this is probably the sickest Passat ever. I would absolutely drive this thing. Freedom Street Garage, not only are we here at SEMA, but both of our Hellcats that you can win are also here. The Hellraisin Charger Red Eye 797, the Hellcat Challenger Jailbreak 717. For 1 week only. When you get entered to win this one, you're entered to win both. So be sure to head over to freedomstreetgarage.com, get entered to win. You could be taking home both of these Hellcats. Both. Yeah, two. So we've stumbled on our first Charger here at the SEMA show, and unfortunately it's a V6. This thing is absolutely heinous. It's got this Wolverine wrap. It's a V6, you can tell by the brakes. I wouldn't be caught dead driving this thing. I wouldn't be caught dead near it. So let's get out of here and go see something cooler. All right, guys, we just ran into the new Lamborghini Revuelto. This thing has a 6.5 liter V12. It's a hybrid. It makes over 800 horsepower. And this is my first time seeing one in person. It looks freaking sick. This one has some aftermarket wheels. Those brakes are massive, carbon ceramic. I believe this was the replacement for the Aventador. And 10 out of 10, I would drive this thing. It's probably fast as f. We're here with Dan, the owner of this GTR right here. You guys all know Dan. If you're on the internet at all, you've seen this guy dance.
A little bit.
Tell me about your GTR, bro.
So this is the shop Houston built this car. It's a 4.1 stroker, boost logic turbo kit with precision, massive turbos.
Yeah.
We just got the new side exit, so sick. It's a Stage 6 Shep transmission with PPG gears. It's on Motec, tuned by Rob Harper. There's beautiful Bellics. I don't know if you've seen them. The Bellics are nasty on them. And she makes a lot of power.
Is it what I heard, 2,500?
Who said that?
Someone told me that. I'm not going to drop any names, but...
Somebody's a liar.
How much does it make then?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Okay, we'll call it 2,500.
Yeah. We'll say 2,000.
Okay, 2,000.
Let's say 1,400.
1,400?
Yeah, let's say 1,400.
Okay, all right, that's safe. All right, guys, this Hellcat Challenger right here is a really cool one. It's got a bunch of mods onto it. It's got a 426 stroker with a Whipple supercharger on top. It's 1,000+ horsepower to the rear wheels. You can see it's got the carbon fiber fenders with the wide body, the skinnies on the front, and in back it's got the Hoosier slicks. So this thing is meant to go fast, and unlike other Hellcats, this thing probably spins a bit less. I'm sure it does still spin the tires a lot, but probably way less than a normal Hellcat on these wheels and tires. So you can tell he's got a bunch of weight savings done. And you can tell it looks like he uses it because there is a bit of damage to this carbon fender here, but that's just signs of use. When you build a fast car, you're gonna get some damage when you use it. I would 10 out of 10 drive this thing. It's probably fast as f. All right, guys, here at the R1 Concepts booth, we have not one, not two, but 3 RWB Porsche 911s. I've already mentioned this video probably 5 times. I really love Porsches, and we've got 2 air-cooled ones, 1 water-cooled 911, and they're all manual transmission, and they all have this wide body kit, which is called RWB, like I mentioned, but basically it's a bolt-on body kit that is custom to the car, and it just widens it, kind of like a wide body Hellcat, but a little bit more culture behind these. They're hand done by Nakai-san, and he comes out and cuts up your car and bolts these on. Not a lot of people are crazy about these things because he's actually cutting up a 911, a very coveted car. But I think in the end it does come out pretty nice. However, I'm not too crazy about cutting up a nice clean Porsche just to screw on some body panels. So I would drive it, I would own it, but I would not build it personally. All right, guys, this is a Toyota GR86, not a standard GR86. Let's take a look. So it's deemed the GR86 Rally Legacy concept. This thing, instead of having a 4-cylinder boxer like Subaru engine, it now has a Toyota GR Corolla 3-cylinder turbo engine plus the drivetrain behind it. So instead of being rear-wheel drive, it's now all-wheel drive, and it's got a full cage. It's built by Evasive Motorsport, and it's now a rally car converted from a GR86, which is a pretty slow 2-wheel drive car. So this is probably the coolest 86 here. I would totally drive it. I love rally. Guys, I found another box. This is a Lamborghini Murcielago, but not the typical Murcielago that you usually see. You usually see a Murci, they're really clean, really nice, elegant, but yet very badass. This one seems to be kind of ratty. It's got some stuff kind of screwed into it. You can see here the fiberglass is all completely broken off for this weird headlight setup. It's cool it is on airlift. That's nice. It's got some nice work wheels. I love work wheels. They're a good look, but this Lamborghini is definitely kind of ratty. I'm curious because it seems like there's a story here. There's a lot of damage like near the windshield, and it's got a bunch of stuff just kind of riveted on. There's got to be a story here for sure, but I would drive it, but I'm not a fan of the rattiness. I would rather see like a nicer Murcielago. So pass on this one. Guys, this thing is insane. This is probably the craziest Mark II. If you're on the internet and you're in the Volkswagen space at all, you've seen this car. I believe it has like a turbo VR6, but it's mid-mounted, so it sits behind the driver's seat. Come on, check this thing out. So this insane wide body, the spoiler on the back, the exhaust is coming out of the top of the car. This is insane. I think this body kit was designed by the Kaiser, and like I said, VR6 turbo coming out of the back of the car. This thing is crazy. Seriously, probably the gnarliest Golf Mk2 out there. I used to have a Mark II with a 1.8 turbo. This is 100 times crazier. So, smash for sure. Yeah, I would love to drive this thing. I forgot to say smash or pass. Definitely smash for sure. 10 out of 10 Mark II. All right, guys, we're here in the AFE Power booth, and we've stumbled upon this gorgeous BMW M2. What really caught my eye with this car is these wheels on it, these HREs. These are kind of a replica of the Style 22 wheel that came on the E36 M3s, but HRE remade them with way nicer materials, way cooler colors, and modern BMW fitment. So it looks awesome. This car also has AFE intakes, AFE's catback exhaust, and it's in this awesome color that I believe is called Sterrato red. Let's check out the interior because I got the keys to it. Should I start it? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Should I start it and drive? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so this is, wow, for such a tiny car on the outside, this interior is perfect. The size is great. The steering wheel thickness is awesome. The paddles are just great feedback. This car has an 8-speed automatic. The M cars used to come with a dual clutch, but this one, the modern ones, come with a standard automatic, which is, in my opinion, better than the dual clutch, just the performance. And man, this car is really nice. You can see the like M colors on the door here and the M2 hit on the sill. This thing is very nice. I would rate this 10 out of 10, and I would absolutely drive it because I'm a huge BMW fan.
Just drive it right now.
Just drive it right now? Okay. Guys, we just found a purple Demon 170, but this one is not only supercharged, but it also has the Hellion twin turbo kit. So it's twin charged. So it's got to make a lot of power. It's got to sound insane with the twin turbos, but this is not like a normal twin turbo setup, because if you look in here, you don't see any turbos visibly up top, and that's because the Hellion turbos are underneath. So if you see, they've got a mirror underneath the car so that you can see I can't really see them, but I know they're there. The turbos are underneath. So technically, no one really has to know that you have a twin turbo setup on top of your already supercharged Demon 170. This thing probably scoots. It's on slicks and skinnies right now, and they have it lifted up so that you can see underneath it. I would give this thing a 10 out of 10. I would absolutely drive this thing. Again, probably fast as All right, guys, so we just walked up to the Cybun / Anderson Composites booth. So you guys know Anderson Composites, carbon fiber, good stuff. We put them on all of our Hellcats, the Blackwing, anything we can, basically. And Cybun is their parent company. So let's check out what they have at Cybun, and then let's go over to Anderson. First things first, I love Skylines. This is a Skyline R34 GTR, and this one is in this awesome Millennium Jade, something like that. That's what this color is, or just green. And it's got the TE37 wheels from Ray's, Brimbos, and it also has these like aftermarket fenders that make it wider and appear more aggressive. The hood is like a dry carbon hood that, you know, it's not glossy, which I love, and it's obviously made by Cybun because it's in their booth. So it's got the inlets on it, and it just basically is just a copy of the factory hood, but in carbon. Epic. Come around here and take a look at some more stuff this GTR has. You can see it's right-hand drive, so the steering wheel's on the right-hand side. This thing is manual transmission. The GTRs get a 2.6-liter twin-turbo inline-six engine, and they're all-wheel drive. So not only do they get, you know, a good amount of power, but they're also all-wheel drive, so you're not really spinning the wheels like, you know, on a muscle car or something that's two-wheel drive and struggling to get traction. This thing gets traction off the line because all four wheels are powered. This color is just epic. This is one of the most legendary colors for this car, and it's just, man, it's so good to see. And it actually is an M-Spec NER, so I'm gonna guess that this is actually not a wrap, and I'm gonna guess that it's actually Millennia Jade paint, which is legendary. All right, guys, we just found this Demon 170 here at the Anderson Composites booth at SEMA, and walking front to back on this thing, I've noticed it's got a lot of pieces from them, including a hood, a trunk, a spoiler, a rear valence, a front chin spoiler, as well as the wide body fender flares on the back. Notice, since it's a 170, it only has the flares on the back, so you only need the two. The front is just standard fenders. This thing also has, what else does it have? Oh, it also has the front grille surround. So you guys might recognize some of these parts because we have them on the FSG 18 Hellcat Challenger that we're giving away. That car has the hood, it has the front splitter, it's got the spoiler, the rear valence, the grille surround, and they make some really good parts for these cars, and it just kind of sets it off compared to the stock parts. You know, like, it's not that huge of a difference, and most people might not even notice it, but I think, you know, adding these parts not only saves a couple of pounds, but also makes the car look a little bit more aggressive. I would drive it. All right, so this is a C8 Corvette Stingray, built by a company called Rival Machine. This thing looks like it's like a track-inspired, track-focused build, even though there is a Z06, and now there's also a ZR1, twin-turbo ZR1. This thing is a Stingray that's been, you know, upgraded for a track build. So if you come around here, you can see it's got the BBS E88 wheels with Toyo Proxy slick tires. On the front, for the frunk, you've just got basically this open hood for airflow because the engine's in the back. So inside, it's got full carbon tilt seats. It's got the OMP racing steering wheel with the paddles attached to it, yet it retains all the controls that the car has from the factory, which is nice because the wheel is probably nicer and more ergonomic for racing, but being able to keep all the standard functions of the car, because, you know, cars have buttons on the steering wheels, it's nice to retain all that in a race car that you're probably going to drive on the street sometimes. It's got a lot of carbon on it, from the mirrors to the hood, or sorry, the front, the mirrors, the side skirts, the front lip. Lots of carbon to get damaged on this car. One other really cool thing that I noticed along with the wheels is this wide body. It's got kind of like a very subtle like wide body flare added to it. It's not too much, but it's like just enough to make it look really good and fit like wider tires. I'm curious if it's cut underneath. It probably is. You've also got this extremely wide wing on the back of this car, very aerodynamic, and then you can see the exhaust is also done. Not exactly sure what exhaust it is. There aren't any logos on it, but you can also see this very aggressive diffuser on the back. There's lots of stuff that's been cut out of this rear bumper, and you can see that not only is this diffuser very aggressive, but the way the tires poke out when you look behind the car, they are so meaty. That is an extremely wide tire, and to be able to just look straight down the car and see the tires profile just looks awesome. This is one of the coolest Stingrays I've ever seen personally, and I would absolutely drive this thing. It probably rips. Heavy downforce, like big aero. It probably sounds amazing with this exhaust, and just based on the NA is best sticker, I'm gonna guess this thing is also still naturally aspirated, so it probably revs nicely and sounds amazing. This Corvette's sick. Plus, the color kind of reminds me of Millennium Jade. You guys, we're here at the Eastman booth here at SEMA, and we've run into one of my personal favorite cars of all time. This is the Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato. And if you're looking for a two-seater off-road exotic, this is the one that you're probably gonna like. This thing has all-terrain tires. It's got like bolt-on fender flares so that it can, you know, kind of cover the arches more off-road. It's lifted. Like if you want a lifted Lambo, this is the one right here. It's got about 610 horsepower. It's a $280,000 car, but it's badass. It's four-wheel drive. You can take it off-road, and it's a Lamborghini at the end of the day. Plus, it's got these roof racks on top, so you can put like a cargo box, or you can put a bike or skis or whatever you want on top of this thing. And you know, your Lamborghini is basically your truck at that point. I love these. I would absolutely drive this, and I would take it off-road too. All right, guys, this is a Ferrari 488 GTB, and as you can see right now, they are hand drawing on it, and that's because it's wrapped, and so they're drawing some stuff on it to make it look a little bit cooler. But this car is sick, and it's completely slammed on these Honda wheels. If you come a little bit closer, you can see it's got the polycarbonate windows. It's basically like a full-on race car. It's even got a cage in there and everything. This thing is freaking sick. These are a 3.9 liter twin turbo V8. They sound absolutely insane. And this one looks sick with this huge wing on it. And then, you know, I don't know. I don't fucking know. This one is pretty exotic. This is a McLaren Solus GT, 858 horsepower from a V10. And it's really cool because it's a single-seater. I've actually never seen one of these in person, and I likely will never see one again, but this car is insane. Like, just the aero on it, you can see straight through it. The tires and wheels are extremely wide. This car screams McLaren, and it's pretty badass. Oh man, what the f is this thing, dude? So we got a Dodge Charger. It's got a wide body kit added to it. It's a 392, so it's a 6.4 Hemi. It looks like they've got like some lowrider style wheels on it. Not a fan of those, really. They're probably a complete pain in the ass to clean too. Another thing I'm not really a fan of is putting the Lamborghini style doors on not Lamborghinis, and this car has a lot of that. So let's see. Oh God. I think if it was up to me, I would just end the video here, but come on, take a look. Check out the inside. What do you think of that gauge cluster / dash bezel? What do you guys think of that? I'm personally not a fan. I think it's kind of ricey. I'd probably just leave it stock, but we've also got some stick-on carbon fiber, some little window vents that have the owner's Instagram handle. I'm not crazy about this thing. Come on, there's more to see. Coming around back, we've got this kind of louver type deal on this, and I've never been a fan of louvers on a modern muscle car. Not only does it take away from how much you can see, you know, coming out of the back window, but it also just looks kind of tacky, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but Not a fan of the louvers, not a fan of the Lamborghini doors, not on Lamborghinis. The wheels look like lowrider wheels. I would not drive this thing. I wouldn't even be caught dead near it. So let's get out of here. All right, guys, so if you keep up with drifting at all, you've probably heard of Mad Mike Whittet and his McLaren build. It is a McLaren, I think it's a P1 that he's stripped the McLaren engine out of and dropped in a rotary turbo engine. So let's go over there and see it. I actually can see it from here. It's right there. So let's make our way in there. Of course, this booth is extremely crowded, so we're going to try to sneak in and look at a couple things on the car. Come on. So we've got a P1 with a rotary engine with a massive turbo. You can see it right here. It like sticks out. It just like doesn't fit underneath the bodywork, but it looks freaking amazing. So this is, I believe, a 3-rotor with a huge turbo. It's rear-wheel drive, sequential gearbox, and the wheels are extremely wide. And if you've ever seen Mad Mike drive, he has this way of just driving like an insane madman. And yeah, this car does not fall short, you know, of all the other cars he's built. I would give this car 10 out of 10, would absolutely drive it. I can't drift nearly as good as this guy can, but anyone can tell that this car is freaking badass. All right, guys, while we're on the subject of mid-engine cars converted into drift cars, we have Matt Field's C8 Corvette. This thing is insane. It's got a Texas Speed LS engine in it. It's mid-engine. It's got Part Shop Max suspension. It has a Liberty Walk body kit with Anderson Composites body panels also. Let's see, it's got Forge Line wheels, and let's see, what else does it have? That's about it, but I did watch this thing get built from a flood damaged car into the machine that you're seeing right here, a full-on drift car. I don't think it's been driven yet, but this thing is insane, and I can't wait to see this thing getting sideways. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. Drop a comment. What do you think the best was? What do you think the worst was? I want to know.